Hello, happy Sunday. I don't normally post on a Sunday, but I just wanted to show you that I've been working on this paper pumpkin. Inside there's a stamp set, a brochure all about it, and some samples of the cards, and of course inside the tissue paper you have the set. There are the cards, the foam pads, pre-cut die labels and things. I'm not going to open it because I bought two sets, one to use, which I've already opened and used, and this I can give to someone as a gift. This kit makes 8 cards, but I just dismantled everything, so I cut up the envelope liner so that I could use the paper in there to layer onto my cardstock. There are gold foil laser cut words and banners, and I cut those up as well. I used my own cardstock and stamped some extra wreaths. This video isn't a tutorial as such, but there were so many cards I made, I couldn't really put it in a picture form on the blog, so that's how I cut up the envelopes to make layers for that. I cut up the banners. Out of one banner I made 4 banner ends, and then from these bits here I cut that into a stitch shape. I also cut them out to make a panel, a screen, like that. I cut the card itself and made layers that I stamped on an envelope and coloured them in with the blends. And then stepping it up, I started to gold emboss them. I deliberately kept them flat as I could. I didn't put any dimensionals on, and I didn't use beads or stuff like that. I just used the cotton thread that they provided and made bows so they're nice and flat. And if I wanted dimension, I just use the fine tip glue, or you can use the Crystal Effects. So then I started to emboss. These are the pre-cut labels that are stitched, and then I cut up the bits of foil to add some edging. I used some dies for some extra texture. You can use other designer series paper to cut up the flowers and do a bit of stamping. So if I wanted a sequin or something, I just use the stamp for the holly to stamp these bits on. So that was cutting a card front into 2 strips, one a little bit wider than the other, but then it gives that effect. Those are the white embossed bits that came with the kit, so I used that as a whole, and I cut the flower into half, just the whole flower, and then tucked it underneath the banner. This is what it should have looked like, except I ran out of the thread, so I use gold thread instead. You can gold emboss it, which is what I did here, and this is more of the banner that I cut up to use. Even the narrow strips of card I kept, and I just made little tails for it underneath. I cut this bit smaller so I could add the tails in underneath. Again, is conserving the strips from the card front, and similarly this is from another card front, and I made 2 different cards out of that. And by this time I was getting tired, so I embossed a sheet of cardstock and then cut them into 1-inch strips and matted them and gold embossed these. And then these ones are all gold embossed on cherry cobbler, and it's quite effective. So those are my 40 cards out of a box that was only supposed to make 8. So I hope it's given you some inspiration. This is what the card looks like when it comes. So basically I cut it, and then I also use this bit as well. This global paper pumpkin kit is only while stocks last. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.